let's record. Fuck.
Great effort.
What the fuck is up, shitheads? It's what is it? Dude's talking shit episode number. I got so into
It's a podcast.
I got so into the what the fuck is up that I didn't know. I couldn't. The rest of it just I choked anyway.
It was just gone.
Dude's talking shit episode 50 with Travis and Ryan or something like that, isn't it?
Is that what we normally say? Yeah, yeah. It's usually like, "Hey, what's up, shitheads? It's your boy back with another YouTube video. Smash that subscribe button. Hit the like. It really helps with the algorithm."
Do you know how often I press those buttons?
No.
0. I just don't.
I
did for the longest possible time. I always hit like just because it tracked your liked videos, so I could always go back and rewatch them and see how many videos I watched. So
Sure.
even if I disliked it or didn't care at all, I would still press like just so that it like tracked it for me. But now I don't know how to see what it tracked, so I just don't.
You just go into your history.
Yes.
Yeah. But then now it just tracks what you watch.
Yeah. But
I still subscribe to like content that I find interesting.
I don't.
that wanna
I
see.
subscribe. I zero get notifications because I don't click the bell or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't get notifications, and I don't read through my subscribe. The algorithm is just so set up perfectly for me that things I'm interested in just always show up in front of me. Sometimes it's like, posted 5 days ago,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's what I wanted to see anyway. So who fucking cares? A lot of fucking Penn and Teller Fool Us shows up in mine. A lot of Doug DeMuro.
Yeah.
A lot of like esports related stuff.
For me, it's
Hot ones.
a lot of. I also have a lot of Doug DeMuro, a lot of Gears and Gasoline,
Yep.
a lot of Donut Media. It's mainly cars for me, and Star Wars.
Oh.
A lot of Star Wars.
Nah, for me, it's a lot of car stuff, magic, and wrestling stuff, of course.
Yeah.
Of fucking course.
Oh yeah, I get a lot of MMA too.
Yeah, I get a
Have
lot
you and F1 as well?
I don't get anything for that. Well,
Dude, there's some really good F1 channels now. Like Tomo F1 is fucking awesome.
there's one, I think it might be called Panda something or other.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like more,
Panda.
yeah, it's more specific stuff about F1 instead of, interesting stuff. I don't know.
I need to come back to something from last week.
Okay.
And we kind of discussed it. But, so I found out after, remember I was telling you that my dad took me to that wrestling
Yes.
when I was a kid? I thought it was because I was a wrestling fan. I found out it's because my dad was a wrestling fan.
Yeah, he just had to have you for the night. So.
Yeah, my dad was like, fuck him again.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, my dad was at the same WrestleMania as you when you were a young kid.
The one I don't really remember.
It was 88 or 89?
Like 89 or something.
89, yeah.
I think so.
So my dad was also at that WrestleMania. But he was into wrestling for a little while, but then he actually started to get out of it at Ra's War.
Yeah.
So that's when it fell off.
1990, and that was 92 or 93 is when that started.
Ra's War?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then maybe a little bit longer.
That's when it started. By the time it was called Raw is War, I think it might have been like fucking 97 or 96. But
yeah. So for Dad, the big stuff was like Ultimate Warrior,
Yep.
Hulk, Randy Savage.
Fucking classics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hillbilly Jim Duggan.
Oh yeah, Hillbilly.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, my dad had this wrestling VHS, and so I brought it up to him when I was talking to him after because we were talking about the wrestling episode, and I was curious and wanted to ask him some questions. And he said he had to take that VHS away from me. He had to hide it because I would watch it on repeat.
Really?
I would get home from school or from like daycare, and I'd be like, "Put it on, watch again." And basically, it was this like. And what I remember, there was a cage match on it between Randy Savage and Ultimate Warrior.
So that's when the cages were like big bars. They weren't like a fence. Yeah.
And they were blue.
Yeah, that's right.
And there was also like, I don't know how to explain it, but there was like this thing. Hillbilly Jim Duggan. Was that his name?
Yeah, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Big, tall, wide guy with blue overalls
Yes.
and a fucking straw hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in this VHS, they did this thing where they like went to his house, and he's like showing you around, and of course he lives in like a Beverly Hillbillies little cabin in the woods type thing.
Yeah.
Because I think that was supposed to be like kind of his character. And like, yeah, he's like going around and his grandma's out like sitting on the fucking patio in the rocking chair and stuff. And like very much like a deep. Do you think that was probably an earlier form of them doing that? Like taking that level of character portrayal outside of just wrestling and showing it in that format?
Yeah, they did that sometimes to get people to be more popular so that they're more relatable.
Yeah.
They would do shit like that. But
Yeah.
back then, that's when it was kind of real. Like,
Yeah, but like
the secret wasn't fully out, that it was like,
right.
you know, anyone with a half a brain kind of figured it out. But like, no one had come forward and said, yes, this is not real. This is a storyline.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing hadn't happened yet.
Right. And obviously now. Do you think internet killed some of the story of professional
No,
wrestling?
no. The internet definitely fucking broke down that fourth wall way more than it needed to. But
Yeah. Because now all these people have social media.
yeah, exactly. And they have like their Twitter names and Instagram names and all that are their like real name. And it's like, okay, so like I now know that's your name and you,
Now
but
the
you get
magic's
called
over.
this all the time. And I see that you posting pictures with that person, but on screen you're like their mortal enemy.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's that? Yeah, I don't think if I never got into wrestling when I was little and I was someone just getting into it now, I don't think I would.
No.
I don't think I ever would have gotten into it if it wasn't for, the curtains being closed back then. Like, you never knew. It was real. Like, Hulk Hogan was a fucking hero. Actually, you know what? It's funny to talk about Hulk Hogan because I think we may have mentioned this at one point or another because I did have it written down at one point and note. Like, this might be like a super early episode repeat conversation, but which is sad to say because we've only been doing this for just under a year and we're repeating shit. But like we've talked about it before when it comes to MMA, like how many people have transcended a sport, and like the reality is not that many did.
No.
You know what I mean? Like Hulk Hogan in the 80s was bigger than fucking wrestling.
Yes.
Like way bigger than
Yes.
wrestling. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
nobody knows him as Terry Bollea. He is fucking Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
He was a movie star. He was a TV star. He was like an actual superhero. He was a real life superhero. Why is this fucking shaking here?
It's
There.
Yeah.
There we go. The fucking mic stand. Anyway, he was like an actual superhero.
Yeah.
That was like people believed in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like more than just a fucking pro wrestler. Like that was just one of the things he was. He was just this larger than life, like legitimate action figure that was a real human. And like, how many of those people have there ever been?
Him.
Him and
Rock.
no, not even because The Rock. By then, everyone fucking knew what the scoop was.
Oh, you mean like that? His wrestling persona and character, like to this day, he's still Hulk Hogan.
He's still Hulk Hogan. That's what
Like
I mean.
no one would call him Terry Bollea.
No one. I don't think his fucking family calls him Terry. They call him Hulk. That's just like he is that person now. Like he became what he was. Like
Right.
Ric Flair is to some extent, but the Ric Flair, that's his fucking name, is Richard Flair. So like,
Yeah.
like he didn't really do it. And no one, like everyone knows rich, bunch of money, like partier, like that's him. But like, he wasn't a superhero.
Right.
He was a wrestler that just got really famous, you know? But Hulk Hogan was larger than fucking life. He was an actual icon, whether it was movies, TV, just straight up fitness and being a huge jacked dude.
Do you
Being
think Andre the Giant could have done it as well?
no, because he at the end of the day, he was just a big freak that was on a sideshow.
Right.
You know, that's all he ever was. Like at the end of
Right.
the day. Hulk Hogan did it. Mr. T.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was that character. He had he was on 2 or 3 shows ever. He's Mr. T. No, what the fuck is his name even?
Would never be able to tell you.
Like, exactly. Like Hulk Hogan. If I didn't just tell you Terry Bollea, you didn't know that.
No.
No one fucking knows. What is Mr. T name? What's Mr. Lawrence Turode? I'm saying his last name wrong. Turode. But Like, he was fucking.
I like when you can't pronounce something, you immediately default to your fucking shitty radio voice.
But he fucking transcended because he was on the A team and then he was on TNT. He was in fucking WrestleMania 1 in the fucking main event.
Is it Rocky?
He was in Rocky, like he as Mr. T, the same fucking character every time. You
Yeah.
know, another say your prayers, take your vitamins, I'm a superhero, wear all the gold. Like he was just interesting and different.
Yeah.
And he was an actual fucking real human, living, breathing action figure.
Yeah.
And like, how many others have there been? Like none.
None.
There's like I literally don't think I could think of any.
No. Because, yeah, I completely get what you're saying now. Like, The Rock and John Cena are huge, but they're not their wrestling character. They didn't become their wrestling characters.
Right. So Hulk Hogan, that character that he played that became Hulk Hogan, is who he became. Mr. T became that. John Cena probably could have, in all reality, because his character he plays in a lot of movies is super fucking close to who he just is now.
Yeah.
And his wrestling character as John Cena
Right.
is real fucking close to who, like, he might be in that. But like, I don't know. He did that fucking cock blockers and stuff. And like
That movie? Have you seen that movie?
one of the very few movies I have seen.
It is fucking so funny, man.
I don't really remember it all because I'm pretty sure I passed out for like 45 minutes of it. But I saw the beginning and the end, and that basically is all you need to know in a movie.
You sleep a lot during movies, don't you?
Yeah, dude. You know how many fucking movies I know the first half hour of, or 45 minutes at the most, ridiculously well?
Yeah.
And then there's like a bunch in the middle that like I remember it if you tell me, but I kind of like don't remember it. I don't. It's not like fluid.
Yeah.
And then the endings, like Billy Madison. I've seen that movie maybe 500 times, and I don't think I'm exaggerating.
Yeah.
I know the first half hour of it, and I know the ending of it. I know the whole middle. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But like,
But you've probably only seen that like 200 times, the middle.
Yeah, exactly. So like when I think of that movie, all of the funny moments and stuff are all in the first little bit and the end.
Those really are the funniest moments of that movie, though.
You know what's fucked up about that? How like crazy, like memorable moments of a show or movie all happen in a short period of time.
Yeah.
When it comes to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Yeah.
6 seasons. There's like 3 things that are kind of funny from 5 of those seasons.
Yeah.
Everything else that's like memorable about Fresh Prince, like the funniest moments, the funniest clips, and like the most memorable anything, first season.
Yeah, the first season of that show is ridiculous. It's so perfect.
Yeah, and the first fucking Aunt Viv was definitely better than the second Aunt
I
Viv.
agree. One movie, though, that I have to say, because, okay, so this is I feel like just a normal thing with movies. The beginning always really hooks you.
Yep.
Right? The beginning's fucking awesome. The middle is, like, not that great. And then the end gets you back in.
Yeah.
For, like, a big, exciting closure. But the end is never as good. Like, my favorite part in a movie is the beginning part where you're getting to know the characters.
Yes.
And, like, all that stuff. Like, that's the best part of a movie. Do you know one movie that I find is consistently fucking hilarious the entire way through the movie and keeps me equally hooked at every single point?
Grown Ups.
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there is like because one of the most memorable scenes in that movie.
The car crash.
Well, I think that's why they did such a good job of why that movie's memorable. Because the tie-in, I was going to use the car example, the tie-in of him beating the shit out of the fucking car throughout the whole movie is like, it keeps bringing you back. Because every time something happens in that car, it's fucking hilarious. Like, when they put the deer in the back of it and they think the deer is dead.
Is dead and then it gets back up. Classic. Black Sheep.
Dude.
Black Sheep.
Black Sheep's
It's the
fucking
same
incredible.
thing. Instead of selling brake pads, he's selling a mayoral candidate.
Yes, that's right. Man, it's so funny that Tommy Boy and Black Sheep are the same movie
Oh yeah.
in reality. And they're both fucking great.
How many Chris Farley movies are there? Like, I don't mean movies that he just happened to be in, like Billy Madison.
Like movies he starred in.
Like, there was those 2 and Beverly Hills Ninja, and then
Almost Heroes.
I don't even thought about that. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Almost Heroes is really funny too. But he was a main character, but he wasn't the star.
Yeah.
But he was a big character in it. Did you know? Have you ever seen Shrek?
No.
You've never seen the movie Shrek, but you
Nope.
know what Shrek is.
Yes.
And how wildly popular it is.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Was that loosely based on him?
Chris Farley had the whole Shrek movie recorded,
What?
and then he died. And they knew that Shrek was going to be like multiple movies, so they recast as Mike Myers.
Really?
Yeah, Chris Farley was Shrek.
So that movie like actually was about to come out. I thought Farley's been dead way longer than Shrek's been around.
Right. So
Wow. I guess
he
I don't know my
died in
thing.
like 96. Shrek came out in like 99 or 2000.
Somewhere around
But
there.
it all got delayed when he passed away because they had to redo like everything. Because even the interactions between like Shrek, Mike Myers' character, and Eddie Murphy's character, Donkey,
Yeah.
like there had to be reworks.
I'm
right?
sure the animation had to be changed too because of the style of acting, of voice acting.
And so everybody knows that it exists, that there is a version of Shrek. Like the animation wasn't even done with Chris Farley's parts, I don't think, or I don't know what stage they were. Like
They were still in the
finishing-
post-production somewhere.
You got it. And yeah, so everybody knows that it exists,
That's fucked.
but a single clip has never leaked.
Do you think that eventually will come out at all?
I hope.
Like,
Like not
that's
as the
wild.
full movie,
No.
but just hearing him doing some of the voice work.
I wonder if that's something that would be valuable. Like, let's say I broke into Paramount or Pixar or whoever
Yes.
made it, and
Yes.
how much
Yes.
do you think there'd
Millions.
be? Do you think there'd be a B there?
No, not a B, but
But here's the thing I would counter that with. Anyone that would watch Shrek nowadays doesn't know who the fuck Chris Farley is.
right.
Because he's been dead longer than kids that would watch Shrek today have even been alive.
So I think it would get millions because the people who would want to see Chris Farley as Shrek are maybe people who are like our age in their mid 30s.
I still wouldn't watch it. I have zero. That's how little interest I would still have.
That Shrek came out when they were in their late childhood, but they heavily remember Chris Farley. Do you know what I mean? From
Yeah.
like SNL and all his like movies.
Fun fact: I've never watched a single episode of Saturday Night Live in my life.
Man, Saturday Night Live has its moments where it's really funny. Like anytime when Bill Burr was on it, it was really fucking good.
I saw his clips. I go back. I've seen clips and stuff. And
Yeah.
when there's famous people that I'm actually a fan of that are on it, like I'll watch their
Yeah.
stuff on YouTube after.
Like he's really good in skits. That episode's particularly good. But there's an era of SNL where at the same time it was like Chris Farley, David Spade, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler. There was more people there at that same time.
David Spade, I think.
Yeah, Rob Schneider. Like, it was fucked. Well, it was all comedy, people who would go on to be comedy legends. And that era of SNL is definitely, I think, what is known as the most memorable era. And then Will Ferrell held an era all by himself. You don't like Will Ferrell, do you?
No. You know what? The only movie that I like that he's in is Austin Powers.
Did you know, you're probably going to be a little bit upset about this. So, my mom recently found your Instagram.
Yes.
And my mom fucking loves your TikToks that you posted on Instagram. She thinks they are the funniest fucking thing that's ever existed. But she is like, she was like, he's a very like Will Ferrell type character.
Fuck. Karen, come on. We were like homies until this.
And then I said to her, I was like, he does not like Will Ferrell.
No.
I was like, if you had to compare him to Jim Carrey, he would probably be extremely flattered.
Yes. See, I do. I don't know. I have a very weird sense. I actually think I'm the funniest human on the planet. Like the way, like I'm fucking serious, man. The way I laugh at some of the stupid things I think of.
There is nobody who appreciates you more than you.
No, I am definitely in a league of my own when it comes to fucking.
Self-love.
Oh yeah.
When people are out preaching like love yourself, you're just like, why would anybody not love me?
Oh no, I'm fucking dead ass. Like I think some of the fucking things I think of are just so funny. Like like we were just talking about Fresh Prince. I made a tweet like last week that said, "I'm pretty sure Hillary Banks' arm were hairy." Like I died laughing at that because that has nothing to do with anything. I'm just thinking she had hairy arms, you know. Like,
Oh, fuck. Would you say, who is your absolute comedic hero?
I don't think I have one. Because like, here's the thing: I got some of my sense of humor from rewatching and rewatching Adam Sandler movies,
Right.
but also Jim Carrey movies.
Right.
But then like as an adult, I kind of grew up like I liked like Segura and Bill Burr and stuff. Like as far as like
Yeah.
their more methodical style humor.
For sure. I can see that. Because
Plus, I feel like I'm very quick on the trigger
Yeah.
and slapstick. Like I don't miss a whole lot of opportunities. If the ball gets volleyed up in front of me, I'm gonna fucking hit it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even in like incorrect environments, which I find is the funnier part.
You thoroughly enjoy it.
Like-
I watch your interactions with humans every day, and it's fucking hilarious. Your ability to like switch on and off from different types of humor is always really impressive to me. Like sometimes you're very animated and like just fucking stupid, like a Jim Carrey type thing.
Yeah.
Like your facial expressions, like everything that's like going on, you're like bigger than life, like you're fucking huge. But then yeah, sometimes you just say like stuff under your breath, and then I can see where like a Burr or a Segura influence comes in there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because you're just like, sometimes you're very strange in your humor. Because sometimes you'll do something for a big laugh, like something loud and fucking over the top. Like the way, like, what's one thing you do every?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is an easy one. So every time after Ryan eats his lunch in the lunchroom on Saturdays,
I'm so excited for this.
one of our coworkers looks at him with the anticipation of a child for the excitement of what he's about to say next, and he says it every Saturday, and this coworker gets excited for it the same way every single time, like it's the first fucking time he hears it. Ryan slaps his gut after he's finished eating and says, "Oh, let that turn to fat." And our coworker gets so happy. And like when Avril Lavigne comes on at work and you just like freak out.
It doesn't matter the circumstance or the negotiation I'm in or how the interaction's going. I will stop and I'll tell people to turn it up.
You will be mid conversation, like selling someone, and then like it'll be like,
And I'll be like, oh!
Allie, turn it up.
Was your customer's name really Avril Lavigne today, or were you just
No.
Because that's what you wrote on the thing, and I was like, oh my god, that's her last name too. Oh, I would have been so cheesed if you ended up getting someone with that
You know
name.
what's so exciting is How did you see that?
I
Slim?
looked.
I fucking knew you would do that.
Really?
As soon as I told you what her name was, I knew there was no chance in hell that you would not go look at that piece of paper.
I had to know. I had to. Because I thought you were just memeing me, man.
Her name really was Avril, but that was her last name was not Levine. I had to
Thank
write
God.
that on there though, because I knew you'd go for
She's
it.
the fucking queen of Canada.
And like just a last thing on your humor, but like the other side of it, so you'll do these big dramatic things that are loud and obnoxious and makes everybody pay attention, but then you'll also just like walk by one of my customers while I'm talking to him and be like, "He saw a dead body at Costco," and you'll just like walk away. And I'm just like, I don't fuck, he's fucked.
Now you gotta dig yourself out of that. See,
Yeah.
one of the things I find to be some of the funniest things to do to people is set them up for a socially awkward situation that I don't care about that they do. Like you, like you when you're selling it when you're interacting with clients, I find you try to be what they expect you to be or what you think
100%.
they expect you to be
Yeah.
instead of just being you.
Yeah.
So like I love putting people like out of their like comfort zone. Like, what do I do now? Like, man, I just don't care.
Yeah, no, you don't change who you are whatsoever.
Like,
I adapt to people.
I've done it with like, you know what type of annoying customers we have that come in? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like The stupid annoying ones.
Yeah. What's a car?
Yeah. Well, when they come in, sometimes I'll purposely introduce them to someone else, but without introducing them, I'll be like the "How I Met Your Mother" line. I'm like, "Have you met Brenda?" And then just walk away. Now Brenda's fucking stuck in this conversation, and I'm just like,
fuck.
"Well, I sidestepped that."
Man, so much funny shit happens like that fucking day in and day out.
There's no way that place is fun without me. On the days that I'm not working, you know how many people have actually told me,
very
"Oh, I don't
quiet.
like it when you're not there."
Do you know, I do really enjoy, so there's a very big mix of personalities there.
Yeah.
And there's two people in particular who actually get along with each other quite well, but they're both very strong personalities. And they'll debate with each other loudly and fiercely quite easily. The amount of times I just fucking like drop something in front of them. Like the big thing they've been debating lately is DMX. And
X gon' give it to ya.
And one of them is, so basically there was, DMX got in a lot of trouble over animal cruelty,
Yep.
which is fucked up. Because like one side of the argument is one person saying like, fuck him, like he was a piece of shit. Like he was torturing fucking these animals. And this other person is like, oh, he gave a lot to music. He did a lot. Like he's a human being.
A ton.
Exactly. So, and then but then what happens is, and this is where it switches. So this guy's saying like this particular person is a dickhead because of the inhumane things that he did. And this other person then doesn't defend the actions of the cruelty against an animal. He starts talking about how this person doesn't care about humans.
Because
If there's cruelty to humans. Instead of being like, that's not what the original person defending the animals is saying that person's a piece of shit. He's not saying, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this person comes back and just tries to twist what they're saying. But I love fucking getting that. When DMX comes on now, I immediately go over.
Woo, you're gonna make me lose
I turn
my
the
mind.
speaker up.
Yes, man.
I turn the speaker up every time.
Just like you're like the guy at the beginning of the round of boxing that hits the bell. You're like, ding, ding, ding.
Let's go. And then, like I said it to one of these guys the other day, I was like, I enjoy nothing more than confrontation I'm not involved in.
Yep.
It's the fucking
Dude,
best.
I love watching other people getting into it that I'm not involved in.
Oh.
And like, especially when it's like on like social media and stuff. Because then sometimes I'll just go and like, I'll just press like on someone's comment.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll get called out too. And one thing you do not do to me is try calling me out.
Yeah. Dude. Like, or even today, one of our coworkers got in trouble. And immediately it's just like, oh, what's going down? Like, what's up? What's up? And it's fucking so fun. So goddamn fun.
Dude.
We got one right.
Woohoo.
Philip's dead.
Dude, we talked about this last week.
No, he never.
Yeah.
He wasn't dead this time last week.
Yes, he was.
Was he?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Positive. I even had a coworker come to us today and say, hey, I was listening to your podcast this week. It was really funny what you were saying about the Queen. I'm like, yeah, well, fuck that guy for being dead.
Well, then.
Like, that's already happened.
Oh. Yeah.
So, yeah, really flopped on that one. Dude, did I ever tell you? You know how I'm like a super hard-headed person? Like, I'm very stuck in my ways. Like, I'll do the same thing again and again just
Yes.
for a gag. Like, I tag Travis every single day
Right.
in the same photo of Jim Carrey on Facebook, which is not even a funny photo. It's just a picture of him, you know?
Just a headshot.
Yeah, not even like a proper headshot, you know? It's just a picture of only his head.
Yeah.
And
It's like him at like an award ceremony. Or
something like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I tag him in it every single day. It's a Facebook page on Facebook. You can find. It's called The Same Photo of Jim Carrey Every Day.
Everyone
And
should go
every
follow it.
single day they post that exact same photo again and again and again and again. And I tag Travis in it every day. This has been going on for like almost 4 years now, probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, it was probably like, I think it was March of 2017. Like, I had just met you when I started tagging you in that.
No, I don't think it was that early.
It couldn't have been far off from it, man.
Yeah, I would say within the first few months.
Okay.
Of us.
So
being
we're
friends.
coming up on almost
4
4 years.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that's one thing I do. I don't wear socks twice. I will throw them out after I take them off.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do. Well, there's another thing that I did for like 4 or 5 years. I don't do anymore.
Ooh.
But I just thought about it like, oh God, I don't know, a week ago, and it kind of reminded me
Yeah.
that like this was weird. So when I was in ninth grade,
Okay.
yeah, I think I was in ninth grade. I was definitely in high school. I got a ball of tape, masking tape.
Yeah.
Not even a big ball, just like maybe like an eighth of a roll of masking tape, like a pretty small amount.
Yeah.
I rolled it up into a ball, and then I squished each side, so there was eventually 6 sides, so it was like a cube now.
Yeah.
And I wrote numbers on it, so it was like a dice, like a die, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on
Yeah.
each side. And I put that thing in a velvet bag, and I put that in my pocket, and it was in my pocket every single day for like 5 years. No matter what I was doing, no matter where I was. The only time I was off was when I was swimming or sleeping.
Right.
If I was in gym class, it was in my gym shorts.
Right.
If I was out anywhere, it was in my pocket. If I was working, it was in my pocket.
Right.
Just always, always in my pocket. And I called it a special dice from another planet. And I just carried it around with me absolutely everywhere that I went for 5 years or more or so.
And then you just one day stopped?
Yeah, and the worst part is, like, I still have it. I'm not sure where it is. I'm pretty sure I have it in like a keepsake sort of box that I have. But it was just a little tiny velvet bag that was like less than. We'll put it this way: your phone would not fit in this little tiny bag. It's that small. It was meant for like gems.
Okay.
Like if you're one of those
Yeah,
weirdos
I
that
know
buys
what you
like
mean.
jewels and stuff.
Yeah.
And I put this dice in there, and that was it. Oh, I painted the whole thing with whiteout too, so it was like the tape was all like solidified together.
Right.
And then once it dried, that's when I put the numbers on it. But man, I had that thing for years in my pocket, and because of the size of it, it looked like like it was the same size as the end of my head of my penis. So like whenever it was in my pocket, it looked like I had a boner. All throughout fucking high school, it was just like a fucking boner sitting on my thigh. Anyway.
Oh, dude. Awkwardly transitioning from boners. My dad had a topic for us.
Oh.
Yeah, my dad wanted us to discuss and hear our opinion on what we think of people who have bumper stickers.
Fuck them. Like, fuck off. Especially the fucking baby on board. Oh, get the shit out of here. Oh, let me not kill you now from rear-ending you. Like, oh, because you got a baby on board? Like, how old is this baby?
Yeah, at what point do you look at that baby on board sticker and be like, oh, okay, cool, I was going to hit him, but no, I won't.
No, you know what's the only fucking bumper sticker I think I've seen? Don't get me wrong, there's some clever ones. My favorite was on a truck, and it said, Dodge the father, ram the daughter. You know? Dodge ram, you know?
Oh, right. And then specifically, my dad asked this question because he saw a bumper sticker
That said, I may be driving slow, but I'm still ahead of you. Oh, fuck those ones too.
No, it said, if you're going to ride me, pull my hair.
Yeah.
And then a dude got out of the truck. And then dad was just like, so if you put that bumper sticker on the car, can only the girl drive that car? Like, what happens from there? And then, yeah, just bumper stickers in general, you're fucked.
Ass, gas, or cash, no one rides for free. That's another famous one.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Ever notice that
Jesus fish.
Yes, there's not. Oh, those ones are fuck them. I'd give them the middle finger for no reason.
I got flipped off in traffic the other day for no reason.
You know the fucking worst bumper stickers?
What's that?
Like literally the worst. Just because they're like, oh fuck off. They're attention whoring, but not attention whoring. Like it's any time that a female drives a truck or a Jeep, she has to make sure the world knows that's a girl driving that.
Oh, yeah.
Like fuck off. Nobody cares. Like
Princess's
fuck right
truck.
off. Yeah, like, or like I saw one that says not my boyfriend's truck or something like that. Like I was like, fuck right off.
Just drive your truck and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, fuck right off. I share the road, those 1 meter for bikers.
I knew you were going to say this one.
Yeah, fuck off too. You know how many times I've seen people with those stickers not even give the meter to the people?
I know,
I've
man.
seen that so many times too.
Dude, fucking cyclists. There's a huge hate out for people lately on bikes on the road.
Well, that's because the thing is they're getting too like, ooh, I have the rights. You know, there's two fucking eyes in this or nose in the sky, so they're moving over and further from the curb. It's like, get the fuck over.
Do you know what fucking kills me about that? So when people on bikes are like, "Oh, I'm traffic," but then they'll pretend like they're traffic,
Until they get to a stoplight.
and then they fucking go like so. When I come down here in Cove Road in the morning to go to the Rotary,
Yeah.
people on bicycles, like you'll be going down, and it's a tight road because it has that alternating middle lane.
Yep.
Like it's not wide, and so you're going down the right lane, like trying to get down to the fucking Rotary, and these people act like traffic until traffic is fucking lined up, and then they go and try and go between the curb and the cars.
Yeah.
And it's like, A, there's not enough room. You're going to take someone's fucking mirror out, or you're going to get hit. And it's just like, fuck you. You're either one or the other. Like, you don't get the advantage of, like, using the fucking roads on your bicycle and impeding traffic. And then when it's inconvenient for you,
You just go lane splitting or whatever.
yes, man, like, suck a fucking dick, you
Yep.
fuck.
Man,
Oh,
well, in the places that do have bike lanes, even when I'm not on my scooter or anything,
yeah.
I am a bit of a Nazi with those. Like, I won't pass cars into them. Like, very, very rarely. You know, if a car's sitting there stopped and because it's trying to turn left or whatever,
Yeah.
and there's that bike lane which you could technically just drive and to get around them.
Oh, yeah.
I will not do it. Like,
No.
I'll hold up traffic because, like,
Next thing you strike, so
Yeah.
where there is a designated bike lane, fair game.
oh yeah,
Like, that's your bike lane. Perfect. This is clearly a road space meant to take care of that.
in the summer, I like to ride my scooter to work, and I live about 8 kilometers away from my work, and I have an electric scooter. It's a boosted rev, if anyone's curious, about 40 kilometers per hour. Electric thing. Like, anyway,
looking
I
at
ride it in the bike lane or the sidewalk if there is one, because it's not technically a street vehicle. But when I'm in that bike lane and cars are parked and they're fucking in it, I've taken mirrors off. I kicked one off last year. I just like I was a fucking jouster on the back of a horse. I just rode along, hit full throttle, put my foot out in front of me, and just knocked a fucking mirror right off of his car, and it just hit the ground, and I just kept going. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I still don't care. And you know what? The worst part is, at that same house, there's probably 8 cars in their driveway.
Yeah.
It's like, this house, I have a hard time believing it's even a 3-bedroom house. I'll be honest. It's so small, and like,
Yeah.
it looks like it's probably like a 2-bedroom house. You know, maybe there's an office in it or something at the most. But they have no less than 8 cars at any given time. It's clearly either a fucking squatting house, but with people that could afford houses, or like a bunch of probably foreigners that fucking are all sleeping on cots in it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or fucking, like, it's a druggie house or something. Because
Man.
all the cars are like Mustangs, BMWs, like Civics, or like,
Yeah.
but they're all the kind of cars that straight up, like, a bunch of fair-skinned people probably wouldn't have all in one neighborhood.
It's very interesting, like,
Like, they have the larger sedans and stuff.
Indian dudes are so curious in what they buy for cars. And it's so one thing we've all noticed, like, I'm not sure how the communication works within the Indian community. I think they use WhatsApp a lot,
Yeah.
and there's like a fairly fluent communication. So first of all, Indian dudes love the Sonata.
Mhm.
This is Indian dudes who come to Canada. I don't know what it's like everywhere else.
Yeah.
But Indian dudes who come to Canada fucking love Sonatas.
Camrys.
They love
Accord,
Elantras.
stuff
No,
like that.
they're not into Canada. I'm talking about younger Indian guys.
Okay.
So let's talk like 30 and below,
Okay.
who are new to Canada in particular. Not people who are here generationally because they're
Sure. I'm getting you. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So they love fucking Sonatas. They love Elantras. They love Camaros. They love Mustangs.
Yeah.
Those are the cars they drive.
It's fucking weird.
But what's one thing that's really strange is I find if you meet like a younger Indian dude, like he comes in to deal with you on a car. Okay, so I saw this when I was at a different store, and an Indian guy comes in, and you go through the whole process. He comes in, and then this guy was like, "I want gap protection." So gap protection is a certain kind of insurance that if you're basically in a situation where you write off the car and then your car insurance isn't going to cover the full thing because you had negative equity, it'll cover off the remaining balance of your loan so you don't owe anything. So this guy came in to get it. Then like 6 Indian dudes in a row got it, who seemed to have no connection to each other. Like, I don't think they knew each other or anything, but then it was just like a thing. And then just
Now they all ask for it. I noticed that over the past 6 months or something.
it's so fucked. Now every single like Indian client that you have that's between like 20 and like say 35, say,
Yeah.
will all ask for it.
That is strange, huh?
And now the other thing I ran into recently is, so like I just mentioned, a lot of Indian guys go for Elantras and Sonatas. All of a sudden, there's like a bunch of Indian guys coming in asking about like SUVs. And this is a completely new thing. I've never sold an SUV to an Indian dude before. They all buy sedans or coupes. And then all of a sudden, there's like 4 in a row that ask for SUVs. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, the changes that happen within the community are so curious. Like,
They're fucking weird in the way they car shop too. It's like, anyone listening, picture the way you go car shopping. You're interested in a fucking Civic, let's say, just as a base easy car.
yeah,
You go there, you're like, all right, I saw an ad that I could get this thing for like, $120 a week or whatever, bi-weekly.
yeah,
And then like, you're like, okay, well, shit, this is base model. I didn't want a manual. I actually want automatic. Oh, you know what? No, I want heated seats. No, I want a sunroof. Like, you build yourself up.
yeah,
Indians build themselves down. Like, they always want to see the very top of the line model, and then like
work backwards.
try to see if that will fit in their budget, which it never fucking does.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they want to try to go backwards, and then by the time they're done, they're fucking driving damn near base model.
Yeah, one above.
Yeah,
base.
one above base, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I fucking could have done this.
Yeah.
I just told you from the beginning. Like, it's a very weird way to do things. Like, imagine being shown all the candy you can't have. And then instead of being like I would not want to know what the top of the line model of a car is if it's something that's so far out of my fucking budget. Like, I don't want to know what I'm losing.
I want to know what I can afford.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is a big difference. Me and again, a coworker, say a coworker a million times. We try not to name names in this show because, some people don't like people who come on here like Anita, or Matt.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about them because they're comfortable being in this place.
Yeah.
But like coworkers,
The rest of them wouldn't want to be associated with this dick and shit joke show.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
But yeah, we were talking about how sometimes I think I don't know about you, but sometimes I would feel bad when I would talk about generalizations of like how we're talking about Indian customers. Yeah. But I think what people realize or need to realize, people who aren't in this industry or people who don't deal with like the public every day, like it's not that we're not disrespectful towards them. Like, we give these people the exact same treatment.
Stereotypes are unbelievably confirmed when it comes to car shopping.
It's fucked.
For not just Indians, but like Middle Easterns, Asians, and white people. You look at a guy like Travis that walks in the door, you probably know what he's going to be buying. He's looking for a Subaru or a Volkswagen. A guy that looks like you just wants that.
100%. Like, it's such a funny industry because like
younger girls shopping, they always want either a white or a black. There's no grays. There's no fucking
no
blue.
colors.
No, I want a white Jetta. You know what I mean?
Older, like not eccentric but excitable, like women in their late 50s, early 60s.
Maybe looking forward towards retirement.
They want like a red car.
Yeah, they want something spicy, little colorful thing.
Yeah, and it's like, it's very, very, very interesting how it always plays out very similar. Like, very interesting market. But so sorry, just to finish this thought. It's not that it's also not a racial thing, we've come to realize. Because sometimes Indian clients will buy a car a certain way because culturally that's how they grew up and that's how they did it. Or when they buy anything, there's a lot of bartering, a lot of negotiation. And like every now and then you're starting to see younger Indian guys who come in that aren't like that just because they didn't grow up in that same way.
Right.
Or maybe that's becoming less of a thing in India, and for their age group it's not as big of a thing. Like, I'm starting to notice more and more Indian guys just coming in with their wife.
Yeah.
Like, they're just coming in. They're not coming in with all their buddies. Like, they're just coming in with their missus. Like, just car shopping. It's no fucking big deal. But it really is a cultural thing because then, like, I have a friend who she's Indian and her mom and dad are from India, but she was born and grew up in Nova Scotia.
Yep.
So for her car buying experience, it's really like if someone went in before they ever spoke to her, they might be like, "Oh, here comes the negotiations." But she goes in, and because she grew up in Nova Scotia and is culturally that way for buying things, she's like, "No, I just want the best customer experience possible.
Yep.
Like, I want you to treat me really good. I want you to look after me. I want you to like walk me through the process, be super transparent." Like, she doesn't like the price doesn't necessarily matter as much to her. It's all about the experience.
Yep.
Which is very much, I think, a Canadian or North American idea of like the price is secondary. The experience is first.
I feel like half my success is the experience I give
Yeah.
more than anything else. Because like they're buying pieces of shit.
Oh, cars in general right now are appliances.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of sad. There's very few cars left that you buy that are like truly special anymore.
Now the only people buying cars nowadays that will forever remember that car and it'll hold a dear place to them is their first cars.
Yeah.
The first time car buyers right now, those are the only ones that like will always remember. Like, do you know how often you talk to like an old guy? Like, let's picture silver hair. They're 64 years old. They're either about to retire or retired. And you ask them, "Oh, what kind of car did you have?" And they don't even remember their entire car history. And they've only had fucking 8 or 9 of them.
But they always remember the first one.
They'll always remember their first car. The ones in between that won't remember. Like, you know how often I'm asking people when I'm appraising a car, have you been in any accidents? Oh, yeah. I had this done. And then you have the wife chime in, "No, that was the other one." And like, they don't even know if they fucking crashed into a pole in a parking lot with this car or not. How long have you fucking had this thing?
3 years?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's you hit it on the head. It's a line I always said, that cars are just an appliance nowadays for most people. It's just like, it's not an extension of their life for the most part anymore.
Yeah.
Anyone that's bought several cars, or you're buying your second car for the home or whatever the case is, you just needed something new because the other one broke down. Like, it's just something to get you around.
Yeah.
And then it's just a matter of what can you actually afford to be comfortable while you're getting around.
100%. Like, what can you pay for? That's
Right.
going to make sense for you. Yeah, the car buying experience is, again, like, every now and then you have the random people that it's, like, really special.
Yeah.
Like, I had a person today that she's had the same car now for 17 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like, her car is, like, a fucking early 2000s. And, yeah, so she
Are we
came
getting
in.
it on trade?
Yeah. Oh, no. She's keeping it.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's sick, though. It's a fucking 03 Camry V6.
Ooh.
Black. It's fucked. It's so nice. Leather interior.
Yes, man.
Yeah, she was like, "I'm not going to sell it to you. You guys give me $500.
Yeah, that was just smart.
Yeah. And, yeah, so she had, like, this really cool experience because her last car, she didn't pick it out for herself. Her, like, partner or husband or whatever at the time picked it out for her. And she was like, "This is the first time I'm picking out my car," and like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So for her, it was like this really cool experience, even though she's a lady in like, I don't know, she's like late 50s, early 60s. But yeah, those people that's what makes the job fun, is when they're like, "This isn't an appliance, this is special to me."
Yep.
And when they share that like specialness with you, you're like, "Oh, fuck yeah, like this is sick, we're having a good time." But yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part. Dude, if you were to be able to rewind the clock right now to the point you were like 16 or 17 or 18 or something, like, you know,
Yeah.
to the point you had your head sort of screwed on, but you weren't like fully adult yet.
Right.
And you were to like draw out what your life would be like in say 15 years. So like now, you know,
Yeah.
how close to it would it be right now?
I'd say like 75%.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, 70, 75%. I thought I would be married for sure by now, and I thought I'd have a kid by now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I thought those were two things. Everything else, like, got a house. Like, I do have a fiance, and we're not married by choice right now. Like, COVID fucked up our wedding.
How many times? 3?
3.
2?
Yeah, we've planned 3 weddings. It's been fucking super fun. Just
Fuck.
a great time. Yeah, got 2 dogs. Got my own house. I have my dream car. Like, beside like marriage and kids, those are like, and career aspirations would have been like to be in a bit of a different place, but
Yeah.
figuring that one out. How about you?
Dude, I thought about this like a week or something ago. And like if I had have written down where I would think my life would be right now by the time I'm 34,
Yeah.
other than not having hair because I'm bald, I think that I am. So you said about 75%. I think I'm at like 150%.
No way.
Like I said I wanted to make good money. I feel like I make good money. I haven't looked at a price tag in fucking years. Anywhere I go, I can just buy whatever I see and whatever I want, and
Right.
it's not going to affect my bottom line. I'm not rich, but like I know that if I walk into Best Buy and I want a fucking big screen TV, I can buy one. I can't go every week and keep buying a fucking, you know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah,
But
I know what you mean.
If I'm buying steaks at a grocery store, I literally don't have to be concerned in my mind if it's on sale or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can fuck
enjoy
$25 when I could have bought a $16 T-bone.
Yeah.
Like I can do that. So financially, I think I'm pretty stable. I've got big screen fucking TV, man. I like have all this cool technology, like this podcast shit. I've got a fucking $10,000 gaming setup, a fucking $10,000 dual PC gaming setup.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me, man? I would have dreamt for an extra fucking Xbox controller at one point.
Yeah.
I drive a red fucking convertible, a fucking $90,000 Jaguar convertible. I have fucking cigars I can smoke. I can go to the liquor store whenever I want and get some rum. I can get fucking day drunk tomorrow on Sunday.
You have a lot of high-end alcohol.
I can buy that whenever if I
At
want a
all
shot of
times.
Hennessy, I can get a fucking shot of Hennessy like fucking Biggie smokes. I got fucking guns. Dude, I got a crate of 720 rounds of 7.62 by 39 bullets on. Like, I'm kicking the crate right now. I got fucking weapons, man. I have a fucking condo on a fucking in a building on the top floor. Like,
With a huge balcony.
yes, man.
Overlooking the ocean.
I got fucking a granite countertop right there. Like if I could have written down whatever the fuck I wanted back when I was young, I have all of that right now, and more. Like I have everything I would have. It's like at the point where like, what do I do next in my life? The only thing is like, I do kind of want to own a property, but I don't really want to own one here. Like I don't want to be. Like I'm not in love with that idea of being tied down. The only thing I want to own a property for is for the financial aspect of it, for fucking being able to sell it for money at some other point.
Yeah.
That's literally the only ambition I want to own a property for.
Yeah.
I have zero ambition to live in it. I have zero ambition to fucking be a landlord.
Yeah.
I just like I don't want any of that.
Right. You don't want to upkeep it.
I don't want to upkeep it. I don't need that extra privacy. Like I've got more than enough in a fucking building. Like now I'm happy
This
as
is
all.
a very quiet building.
That's what I mean. Like
you just live with a bunch of old people.
right, and which if I moved to a different one, I would want a similar situation. Like I'd want like
Living with old people.
basically, and like I want like a steel and concrete structure,
Living with old people is brilliant. They're the best neighbors.
dude.
They're clean.
They're fucking asleep by like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Like I look into my building, all the lights are off. Like
Yeah.
they're snoozing, you know?
Oh man, there's lots of nights I'll leave here at like 10 o'clock
Yeah.
and there's no lights.
No, there's nothing.
I'm like walking out and I'm like, because there's lots of nights I'm here till 2 or 3 in the morning because
Yeah.
we're watching fights. But there's times I'll leave here at 10 o'clock in the night that I'll literally look at my phone and be like, wait, like,
I know it.
what fucking time is it? What's happening?
All the fucking time, man.
It's
Dude, I
fun.
got that electric scooter.
Yeah.
Do you know how much I wanted a fucking scooter at one point in my
have a
life?
really
My mom
comfortable
listens to this podcast. She knows how bad I wanted a fucking scooter at one point in my life.
Yeah.
And then they've got those little razor ones, those little foldable ones.
Yeah.
I ended up getting that, but it never tickled me. You know, the way I wanted one with big wheels that could kind of bounce over curbs and shit. And now I've got a fucking one and it's got a motor in it.
fucking great.
Yes, man.
You have a wonderful sectional.
Yeah, I'm buying a fucking dirt bike in a couple months, like a month and a half.
Are you doing that?
Yeah.
Did you order one after?
Well, I'm getting my license, my bike
right.
license, and like, so my bike license, I'm taking a course is on a or a Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Monday, I am buying a bike.
We're getting a deer this fall.
Yes, that's what I mean, man. Like,
Are you going to take the SKS? No.
you can't hunt with that.
No.
That would fucking blow the deer's head off. But man, I'm serious. Like, if I could have wrote a letter to my older self at one point, like I would be I'd have tears in my eyes looking at it like, Jesus, I did it all.
Man, you've had a very interesting life too. I mean,
Oh, fuck yeah.
I've seen a lot of sporting events. Like the most fun is like when UFC came 2 hours away from us. We were just like, yeah, let's go.
That's another thing. I get to say, like, when it's all said and done, I saw the Rolling Stones live.
Yeah.
I saw AC/DC live. You know what I mean? I was on stage with Dropkick Murphys, for fuck's sakes. Like,
What?
Well, because they, like, you can get on stage during the Spicy
Oh.
McHaggis gig when they
Yeah.
play that song. So, like, or a Spicy McHaggis jig, sorry.
Yeah.
When they play that, you can get on stage. I was on stage during that.
Yeah.
Like, I've been there.
Yeah.
Okay? I was in a fucking band and stuff. Like, I got to experience a whole whackload of illicit drugs and my fucking head popped off. I was at crazy festivals and stuff. I see Deadmau5. Like, I've seen WrestleMania.
Seen dead bodies?
Yeah, fucking dead bodies. Got arrested. Got to experience jail. Like, I have done a lot of cool things. Flew all over the fucking North America. I've been like fucking every major city in America, I think, except for New York for some reason.
Do you want to go to Europe?
I don't have, like, don't get me wrong, not a hard no, but it's not very high on my interest list.
Like if the opportunity came up, you'd be like, okay, yeah, let's go.
I have zero interest in France. See, I'm one of those people, I like to do things to do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to do things to say they did it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, that's why you see everyone take a photo in front of the fucking tourist attractions.
Right.
I'm one of those people that if I'm going there, I want to go there
Yeah.
and experience it. However, if I were to go to Paris, for instance, I would only go there just to say that I went there, not to actually experience the
Right.
culture or the lifestyle.
What about, would you want to see like Dublin and stuff?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. No interest in London, no
Yeah.
interest in Paris or fucking Italy. I don't care about the canals. I don't smoke weed, so I don't care about Amsterdam. I mean, it'd be kind of fun to fuck a couple chicks in the red light district or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a funny thing to be able to go back and say.
Yeah.
But I don't really have any interest in that. I don't care to see the fucking home of IKEA in Sweden or Finland or whatever, wherever it is.
So Italy, no.
No interest. The only interest I would have in going to Italy is to see an AC Milan versus Juventus game. That would be fucking sick. I would love to see that. In person.
What about Germany?
No interest.
Huh.
I have zero interest in any of that kind of stuff.
What
But
about Abu Dhabi?
yeah, okay, I'd be down for Abu Dhabi. Actually, I'd be more interested in Dubai. But
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi, I think, is more logical because that's like the party district, whereas
Right.
Dubai is more like,
Business.
yeah, exactly. But yes, Dublin is is probably one of the only places in all of Europe that I actually have an interest in attending.
Yeah.
Nowhere in Spain. Maybe Ibiza.
Just to say.
Yeah, I have to take a pill in Ibiza
Yeah.
just to show Avicii I was
Any
cool.
interest in Asia?
Tokyo would be on that. Actually, let me think this through. Tokyo and Singapore.
Okay.
Actually, I want to go to the Singapore Grand Prix.
yeah.
So there's a rooftop, there's a hotel that looks like a boat on top of it. It's
Yeah.
a party deck. I would want to be up
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
And
I've
watch
seen
the
that.
Singapore. The Grand Prix is nothing special. It's kind of a shit race in all honesty.
Yeah.
But to be able to have that party atmosphere and be there, but it's one of the most expensive fucking places, man.
Yeah.
To live or tourism
Singapore's
to.
outrageously
But Tokyo
expensive.
would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But honestly,
I'd really like to see Seoul.
nah. See, I have no interest in that.
Yeah, I'd like to see South
That
Korea.
being said, when it comes to South America, very interested. I'm quite interested in a couple parts of Australia, but that would be Australia to me. I don't care about seeing like the things that make Australia Australia.
Right.
I
like
care
you're
about.
not going to see the Opera House.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care to see Uluru or Ayers Rock, whatever you want to call it.
Don't even know what that is.
You know the big red rock?
Okay.
It's
sure.
it's called Ayers Rock, Ayers Rock,
Yeah.
but the locals call it Uluru.
Uluru!
You don't know about this thing?
Sounds like a Pokemon.
You definitely know this big red fucking rock.
No,
It's
I don't.
I think it's one of the fucking wonders of the world
What?
or something like that. It's a fucking.
Oh man, can you imagine being in Egypt and not going to see the pyramids?
So I looked up that dude's address after, and he
Yeah.
lived so fucking close, man. He didn't live very far away at all. We have this guy that is from Cairo and has never been to the fucking pyramids. And it's not like he moved from there when he was a toddler. He lived there until he was an adult, and he's never been to the
very odd.
pyramids. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, no, I've seen them. I've just never been up to them. Anyway, I looked up his address of where he used to live because he told me it, and the guy lived so fucking close. But anyway, you're looking up the Ayers Rock.
Whoa, look
Uluru?
at that thing. It's
You never knew
so
about that?
Red.
Yeah, you never knew about this thing.
No.
Oh, I think it's one of the fucking only 3 attractions in all of fucking
Is it the largest rock or something?
I don't know. I don't know the stats about it or anything like that.
Like, what is it?
It's just a big red rock. I've Google Earthed it. It looks kind of neat. Dude, there's a cool little neighborhood near there that's kind of nice,
Yeah,
too.
I can see it in this picture.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
Yeah. Anyway, I have no interest in going to that rock or the Opera House. I would want to go to like Adelaide or somewhere in the Gold Coast because it's just so nice. But like that's like not even a thing. That's something I would want to be in an extended vacation where I'm just there for a month. But I like more of the tropical shit. I would love to go to the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah.
I want to go to the favelas of Brazil.
Yes, you've said that.
Yeah. I want to go up to that Christ the Redeemer statue.
Yeah.
El Cristo Redentador.
Brazil's, I think, a bit of a wild ass fucking spot right now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just wild in general. Plus, as a fucking ivory skinned, translucent, fucking alien framed guy like me, I don't know if I'd do too hot there. But unless I had a tour guide. But yeah, I know a guy actually. But I would fucking love to do like.
Oh, dude, you would be fine with him. I bet. I
Yeah.
bet he'd fuck someone up.
Yeah, I bet too.
I guarantee.
Yeah.
I guarantee. So we met this dude from Brazil not long ago, and he's
Yeah.
since become an acquaintance.
Yep.
He is the kindest, most soft-spoken, nice dude you'll ever meet. One of the best workers I've ever seen in my life. He's fucked. It is absolutely fucked. He makes no sense as a human being.
Yeah, he makes a good worker look like a piece of shit.
100%. Yeah. Like, however good you are, you're not. He's better than you.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, for however nice he is, he would fuck someone up.
Oh yeah.
You can just tell that it would take nothing for him to just ruin someone.
Yep.
100%.
He's from a part of the Amazon River where, if you're geography buff, you might know this, but it's a part where two rivers basically meet, and then they have different consistencies of the water, so they are two completely separate colors. Like they don't. It's called Manus.
But he pronounces it mouse.
Yeah, okay. I think it's something like that. So it's
Yeah.
in the middle of the fucking Amazon rainforest. There's the
Mounds?
Yeah. There's the Amazon River and the Rio Negro. Ugh, I feel weird even saying that, but whatever.
Told you that word's not coming back.
Rio Negro, yeah. But there's a part where these two rivers meet, which everyone's heard of the fucking Amazon River, right?
Yeah.
And it meets this Rio Negro. So Rio Negro is like fresher water, whereas Amazon River is fucking like murkier water. And they meet, and the consistencies are so fucked. The water stays separate, like Neapolitan ice cream. Did you know that?
I did, because you showed me.
Yeah, and it goes like that all the way out, straight up into the water. Oh, no kidding! I'm looking at I just zoomed in randomly on this river, and there's a cargo ship that's splitting the fucking whisker right down the center. Look at that.
No way! That's super fucking cool.
Do you know what splitting the whisker means?
No.
What does splitting the whisker mean?
Here are some results from a search.
Oh, fuck. A chick taking a piss. Get it? Because it's a pussy, so they're splitting a whisker, you know? Anyway, I heard that term once in a movie. And
It's just stuck with you.
yeah, but I always, whenever I'm splitting two things, like the river,
Yeah.
I always say split the whisker. But anyway, it's a fucking cool place, man. I saw this in some Geographic documentary about how the river fucking stays separate like this, and it stays separate for miles and miles and miles and miles, all the way out to the ocean, where it floods into the Atlantic Ocean, the South Atlantic.
And one side's really muddy and dirty, and the other side's blue.
Yeah, like it's fucking blue. Like if you're on the side of this mouse city or whatever,
Yeah.
the beaches, crystal clear water.
Right.
But then if you literally like risk your life and swim out far enough, eventually you just won't be able to see your fucking hands in front of your face in the water.
Yeah, you could definitely get eaten by something.
Oh yeah. There's fucking lots of stuff down there that wants
Or
you
just
dead.
even a fish to kill you, or like a turtle.
Oh,
or...
fucking wild, man.
Brazil seems like one of the most terrifying places on earth.
Yep. It's crazy. You know how it's called that's the rainforest, like that
Yeah.
whole area? And then you've got like the Middle East, and it's just so like dry.
Yeah.
So you know when you're looking at like, it's called a jet stream of like the way the water circulates or the air circulates around the earth.
Sure.
You know what I mean? When you're looking at like a map of weather to come, like your future forecast and
Yeah.
everything. So the weather, the actual stream of, clouds essentially and like moisture in the air goes through like the Asian countries
Yeah.
where they get a lot of mountainous rain developed and everything like that from all the fucking vegetation going up in the water that's nearby in like Japan.
Yeah.
It cruises along, literally hits like the fucking Andes or whatever, where like Mount Everest is and all that, like the big fucking mountain ranges. It literally hits all that like a fucking ramp, like a jump. And then the moisture goes up into the atmosphere so high that by the time it comes back down, it misses the Middle East. That's why the Middle East is so dry and dreary, because the atmosphere actually, the like all the weather elements jump it. They fucking hit it like a skateboard ramp, man. And then by the time it comes back down, it literally lands on the rainforest. And then they've now gotten so much vegetation there that it's just a nonstop cycle, and it kind of circles around that way. That's also why, like, when weird weather events happen, 8 months later, by the time that weather circles around the earth and not a complete like left to right motion,
Yeah.
that's when it fucking finally gets to Africa and becomes like their wet season in parts of Africa. It's fucking crazy, man, the way the fucking clouds circle around the sphere of the earth.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
In Canada, there's parts of Canada that are considered rainforests as well, because it's about the amount of yearly accumulation.
Yes.
Because it's parts. I think BC is a lot of BC is considered a rainforest.
Yeah. But it's wild. So because of the Rocky Mountains, there's parts of like central Alberta where it rains, or even when it snows in the winter, when that snow and ice melt and that rain comes down, that water, you know where it drains?
Where?
The Great Lakes. Because it goes down, and then it's pretty much, the prairies are pretty much flat. And by the time it gets to those waterways, like that water will make itself over to the Great Lakes, and then back, it flushes its way through out to the Atlantic.
That's wild.
It's insane. That's a huge travel. Like, I would love to fucking put like a GPS beacon or something in something very basic, like a small little like bingo ball or something.
Yeah.
Drop it off a mountain there where you know that it'll make it eventually,
see
and
where
just
it
kind of
ends up.
track its motion. Like, there's been those tales on of like, a message in a bottle sort of thing.
Yeah.
I saw one on Unsolved Mysteries one time, and it was cool because there was actually an update for it. So it was originally someone found a bottle,
Yeah.
and it made it somewhere crazy far away. So this guy threw a message in a bottle in a fucking lake in New York State, somehow flushed itself around there for a while, found its way out to a river, which connected to another one, which connected through some like canal or whatever, and then out to St. Lawrence sort of thing, and boom, into the ocean. And they're thinking based on like marine patterns or whatever of where water has traveled, because they actually document that stuff.
Yeah.
People know fucking nothing better to do. They think it went around like down under Cape Split or whatever, down to south of Africa, around back through Asia and around, because this thing washed up on the shore of California, and someone found it. Like, we're talking many years later, like 20, 30 years later is how long they found it. The message in a bottle, they read it, they found the guy's name, went to Unsolved Mysteries about it. The show aired, and we're talking in like the reboot of Unsolved Mysteries. So like
Yeah.
early 2000s or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was an update, which it's on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whoever has Unsolved Mysteries right now. And there was an update where they fucking ended up finding that guy, and the people ended up meeting and everything. But like, what a wild story. Like, this thing traveled fucking everywhere, man.
Dude.
They even think it like almost like bounced back and forth between, say, Australia and Asia and Eurasia, like that whole area, Australasia, whatever they were calling that little islandy area, and back towards like South America on like the fucking Chile side.
Yeah.
And then back and forth sort of deal,
Yeah.
until someone finally found it in like the San Diego area or something like that.
Man, the best message in a bottle I ever heard is this fucking kid went down and threw out the bottle down the ocean, like in the Atlantic Ocean in Newfoundland, and he threw it out at the beginning of high tide. And so someone came down the next day, found a bottle, and called him. It's just like, you're a fucking idiot. Why'd you throw this bottle on the ground? Why are you littering?
That really happened?
Yeah.
Were you that kid?
No.
Thought for sure you were that kid.
No. Man, I've been trying to craft that into an intelligent story that whole time you were telling that.
Oh,
one.
really?
I couldn't do it.
Like, where does that water go when low tide comes, where does that water go? It had to go somewhere because it's coming back again in 12 hours.
Yeah.
You know, usually 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. is when the tides change or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a 12-hour interval somewhere around then.
Well, because of the moon.
The moon? What? I've heard this, but how does the moon fucking do it?
It's the gravitational pull of the moon.
The moon has no gravitational pull on it. That's why when they're up there, they can fucking jump like 10 feet in the air. Well, not 10 feet, but like 5.
It's still a massive floating orb.
Yeah. Would you ever go to the moon if there was like traveling?
Chartered flights?
Yeah.
Possibly.
I wouldn't. I have no interest in Mars. That's a little too far and too much of a commitment.
Yeah.
But the moon would be fucking cool because I've seen the moon. Like
Yeah.
I have fucking seen the moon.
I would
you know,
definitely do the
Mars
moon.
has never been more than a star in the sky, like a small little glint of light.
Yeah.
You've never seen like a big fucking circle of Mars and gotten to see like craters in it. Like I could stare at the moon on any given clear night and you can like see shapes and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And then
And with your phone.
and some people have zoomed in on phones and like photographs and telescopes, whatever.
Yeah.
I would actually be fucking down to go to the moon sometime.
Definitely.
That would be fucking cool. You know what's wild? I don't think that's fully out of reach of our lifespan.
Not at all.
I think that could be legitimately
beginning.
like a fucking weekend trip.
Yeah. It started. Like, I think it's going to happen very soon. Now, I think terraforming the moon and actually making like a livable residence in there is going to be quite difficult.
Yeah.
Like a
I have no
tourist
interest in that, but going to like a little resort that's there, like an overnight stay in the moon.
Yeah,
would-
that's what. Even that'll probably be difficult to like make a resort on there because you're gonna like you can't have people in spacesuits the whole time.
building it outside.
Yeah, like how do you?
Oh no!
do that?
So I mean, it's the construction of it would be probably harder than getting people there because once they're
Yeah,
there and
but
they
that's
land
what
and
I'm
they
saying,
can
like-
pull into like essentially a hangar of
Yeah.
sorts, and then it decompresses, and then you're living off of fake air. However, if anything fucks up with that fake air,
fucked.
you just wipe out an entire resort of people.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have to figure it has to be powered
There's
by
huge
Tesla or
risk there.
something.
Tesla will be, but Elon Musk will be the one to do it.
Yeah. So that's why he was. The one thing I never thought of until he was on Rogan
Yeah.
is when he was talking about those trips to Mars.
Yeah.
Mars ain't just right there like the moon all the time.
No.
I never really considered that it's circling around the sun in a different speed that the Earth is, and it's further away. So like by the time it's circling around and the sun and the Earth is circling around the sun, they have to be lined up so it's boom right there. So it's a short distance. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're gonna be chasing it.
Yeah.
And that's just a small little aspect I never ever fucking thought of, and it's so fucking logical. But I'm just like, I just never. Like, I would have been the idiot, but like, here's the keys to the spaceship. See you on the moon, or see you on Mars.
We can go whenever.
And I would have fucking went. I would have run out of fuel when I was fucking an eighth of the way there because I'm trying to chase it around the fucking sun.
Yeah.
Do you think the sun turns too? Do you think it rotates as well?
Wait, because this is an actual debated thing, isn't
Oh,
it?
is it? I didn't know that.
I don't know. I think it turns. No, it would have to turn. It's on an axis as well.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely.
Which way do you think it's going? Like clockwise or counterclockwise? There's really only two answers here, Travis.
I'm thinking, but I'm trying to think. Would we be going the same way around the sun as the sun is spinning, or would we be going opposite way around the sun?
I picture it to be like we are a tether ball and
Yeah.
the sun is the pole. You know what I mean? Like,
But the pole doesn't spin.
but what if it did? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then
The
that's
rope
not a
goes
good
around
analogy.
it in one way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think okay, so let's say I'm the fucking pole and we're not talking about a tether ball. We're talking about a ball on a rope and I just start spinning in a circle to get dizzy.
Sure.
I think it's like that. Like basically
Yeah.
me spinning in this direction is
Is
making
spinning the
the
planets.
planet spin around it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if I just
Fine.
explained that in the most retarded possible way or
Can you
not.
imagine if you're correct?
Well, I might be, but then again, I can't prove me right, and you can't prove me wrong. So, I guess that makes me right.
All right, I'm ready to go watch fights.
Fights. Okay, there's been another wild and wonderful episode of Dudes Talking Shit.
Let's go!
You can find us on Instagram at Dudes Talking Shit. You can find Ryan on Instagram at Drunk Ryan and Travis on Instagram at
TFan23.
Send them your dick pics.
Later, shitheads.